So welcome back to the channel, everyone, with myself, David Millionaire Incorporated. And if you're revisiting, you know that I like to review the trading pair pound yen every weekend, just to kind of see what it did during the week, where we could have taken potential trades, and where areas of reversals could have been, and what it might do for the week moving forward. So if you're new, don't forget, guys, to hit the that like button. Let me know that you're actually enjoying these videos I'm actually putting up. Hit the subscribe button if you're actually coming back over and over again. I'd actually really appreciate that. That would actually help me a lot. And let's jump into it. So, pound yen. So at the end of last week, we saw that the pound yen came up right up to this like 150.40 area, 150.50 area, and had a major reversal. So look at that on the weekly time frame so you can see what it looks like. So that was last week's candle. So opened, came down a little lower, then actually took off all the way up, came up to that level, and then closed quite bearish. So you got a bit of a shooting star kind of pin bar rejection there. So as you know, overall over time, it's actually been in a pretty decent uptrend. It's going through a massive impulse move up. So I was kind of starting to look for potential reversal signs, for potential sells. So to actually get that correction to down here somewhere before we actually move up higher again. But as you can just see here quickly, it's kind of moved up higher again as well during the week. So let's jump back down to a lower time frame. We'll go down to the 4 hour so we can see what's going on. So this is it last week. I think it closed around here somewhere. I can't remember exactly. Went up higher, touched that area, then came all the way down and closed just in this area here somewhere. So you're just there, so closed there. So you can see, came down, tested, came back up, and looked like it was potentially starting to exhaust and create that correction move, like I said, I've been waiting for. But as we can see, wasn't necessarily the case this week. So this is where the trading week opened for the pound yen, so slightly above where it closed last week. And if you watched my video last week, I was actually saying I was waiting for it to kind of either come up higher, test one of these two areas, then come lower, or it could have come lower, then gone higher again. So as you can see, opened up Monday morning, or I'm in Australia, so the currency markets opened up Monday morning, might be Sunday if you're in the States, or overnight Sunday, Monday in Europe, depending on where you are. So opened up, came up higher, came and tested this area of 149.30, and had a bit of a rejection and moved lower. So I actually took a trade off that area there. Let's go have a look where it is. So it opened here on the 30-minute time frame, moved all the way up, touched that area there, and exhausted before moving down. So you could have actually taken a sell position from that area there on that 30-minute time frame. So as I always say, when I trade, I like to have at least a 40 pip stop loss for the pound yen and have a 80 pip profit or 2-to-1 profit margin for that pair. Now ticks are just literally a factor of 10 of pips. So if I'm going for 80 pip profit, it's literally 800 ticks. So just if you ever wanted to reference that there. So entering the trade at the close of that kind of 30-minute rejection candle there, you can see already it would have actually hit that profit 2-to-1 target quite easily. And you could have just taken it down to the previous close there, which would have been just there, and that would have given you an extra 4 or 5 pips there, but not necessarily necessary. So let's so came down. So as I was saying, I was hoping it was going to move actually down a lot lower, but didn't quite do that. Came down, exhausted a little bit, and tried pushing down further again, but I was hoping it was going to hit that 148 area before kind of coming up and then moving down again. But as you can see, it didn't quite do that. So from here, it actually respected, let's get a horizontal ray here, this kind of price just there. So you see it was kind of starting to reject. Just I don't like this yellow color. Let's go back to my orange color, which I usually use. So that would have been a zone or an area of support where you could have actually taken another trade higher. So you can see that there, came down, couldn't push or break below that, and then moved up higher. So dropping down to like a 30-minute time frame again for that area there. You could have potentially taken a trade off this bullish candle here on the 30-minute time frame. And let's go that there. Let's clean this up again. Bang, there you go. So you could have actually taken it back up to that 1.4930 area, which you could have, like I said, give you an extra couple of pips there, which is the previous kind of structure in a way, which would have given you 2 to 3 risk reward. And you can see it didn't actually ever kind of really come down to that level again. Let's go back to the 4 hours. We can see how it moved again. Clean the chart up a bit. There. So just zoom into it so it makes it a bit easier to see. So as you can see, kind of blew past that area there. And so I was kind of looking at this area next to see if it was actually going to make a move from. So you kind of see, came up, broke down, they kind of had these wicks here, so it was kind of exhausting to the downside, so looking so it could potentially move higher again. And it was actually kind of working off this area just between those two areas there. So you could have actually had a zone of interest just here, because that zone really is only about, what, 20 pips there, which is sometimes normal for a zone. And you can see it kind of broke above, came back down, tested that area, and then took off. So that's a trade. I actually missed that trade. I took a very small kind of profit off this trade. I missed this trade here because I was actually hoping it was going to continue moving lower. But this trade here, I actually got in and got out after 10 pips. I just wasn't comfortable with how that pair was moving at the time. I think as it broke above and kind of exhausted there, I got out. It just didn't sit well with me, but that was just me. I could have actually held it for longer. So let's actually drop down to the 1 hour, because actually the area you could have taken this trade from was off this candle just here as it kind of broke above. Now there was 2 areas you could have actually taken profit at for this pair. So as always, you want that 2 to 1 risk reward. And you could have actually taken it up to this area here where it actually double topped at the end of last week. So I'll actually move that up to that area there. Bang. And you can see it even just kind of moved higher past that 150 area. Again, so off that little zone here, kind of exhausted, couldn't get that momentum going lower, and then just pushed higher again. And then at that 150 area, we're waiting for it to actually hit last week. It finally exhausted and moved lower. I actually took a trade off that one in my sleep. I actually set a limit order for that area just here. So again, as always guys, I'm going to keep entering these numbers in just so you can see how it actually moves and how it works. So it was actually a pretty decent week to actually take trades. Would have been easier taking buys, as I said, we're still in that uptrend, although I am looking for that correction move. So you could have taken some counter trend trades. Just be careful though and mindful when taking counter trend trades that it is a little bit riskier, and price doesn't necessarily go from one zone to the next. It can kind of exhaust mid move before going all the way down again. So you could have taken this trade to the previous kind of structure just here, and that would have given you another 100 pips quite easily. So I actually hit there. Then my trading group and I were actually watching this area here, saying if it closes above here, it could potentially move higher again to like 151, 155, 150 area. So that's something which I'm actually watching out for the weeks ahead. As you can see, it's kind of kept coming lower, exhausting, but came up higher. So for the daily, looking at that, you see, it looked like it was kind of potentially going to exhaust around here, but didn't quite do so. It kept moving higher, but it still has those wicks above, so it could actually finally eventually exhaust here and actually move lower. But let's just go back to that 4 hour, or let's go 1 hour, it's a bit easier to see it all. So those were the trades for the week you could have taken. So that was a 2 to 1, that's 80, 160, 240, 320, 320 pips you could have taken quite easily off 4 trades during the week. And like all you're really doing is watching areas of previous support and resistance, marking them as zones, and watching price action as it reaches those areas. It's actually, like I said, quite easy to do. If you actually are new to Forex trading, or you want a bit more of a basics course to help you understand these basic concepts, send me a DM on my Millionaire Incorporated page on Instagram. That's millionaire.incorporated on Instagram. And I'll actually tell you how I can give you a free course to actually learn all this stuff. I actually created a course to teach this, like how to actually mark support and resistance areas, mark zones, trend lines, Fibonacci, retracement tools and things like that, and all like the basics of Forex. So I actually created a course about a year or so ago. I was selling it for about $100 a pop, but I'm actually now going to put it on my YouTube channel for free. I was going to wait more so until people actually subscribe and hit 1,000 subscribers before I put it up for free, but I can't be bothered waiting for that. So if you send me a DM, I'll actually send you the link to it, because I actually have it on private at the moment, but that's something unrelated. So that was how the pound yen moved during last week. So as you can see, previous week moved up higher, closed lower, came up higher again, and looks like it's actually creating a bit of a double top pattern there. So from here, as I was saying, it did kind of work off this little zone at the end of the week here, where it's slightly exhausting. Mark that in there. There we go. So a bit of a support zone there. Like I said, came up, came down, tested. Now, for next week, what we could actually see is it finally get that correction move down. Now I'm going to actually clean this up a bit and actually get rid of some of these zones, because it just looks very, very messy. You want to always try and keep your charts as clean as possible, guys. I'll get rid of that one there as well, so it's a bit neater. Now, if you remember, that was that zone where it actually kind of created that double top and W pattern before breaking lower. So I'm going to actually remove it because there's not actually anything significant there. This one was a bit of an area where it could have actually moved down from as well. And you see, it came up, broke below, came up, tested before moving lower again. So I'm going to actually mark this area just here as a potential zone where it could move lower from, because you can see it's actually kind of struggled moving higher. So go to my line chart there. Now I'm just going to pop that there. 1, 2. That was, like I said, another area where you could have actually taken a bit of a short from. As you can see, it kind of came up and had a massive impulse move down. You can see it kind of here on here. It's like created that W pattern, broke above, came back down, tested a bit, and then took off again. So that's how the zones kind of work. You wait for that breakout of the zone, retest, and then move higher. Let's go back to that. So just like that. So it came down, here. So move down, supported there, came up, tested there, moved down, test the area once more, came up higher, broke above that area, kind of tested, tried breaking through, then moved higher. So that's quite literally how you kind of watch Forex pairs move. So it goes through that impulse correction, breaks and retests, and then you're kind of just watching it to see how it moves over time. So yeah, so like I was saying now, let's clean this up again. So broken above, couldn't break and hold above, and same thing again here. Tried breaking above but closed below, came back up, tested. So we might actually see it move through a bit of a sideways pattern now before finally coming lower. So that's what I'm actually hoping for. I actually do want to see that correction move to the downside, but as I was saying, we are still in an uptrend and we could potentially move higher. So even just watching this here, bit of a trend line there created from those lows. It could, like I said, move higher again. My trading group and I, or my mentor and I, are kind of still watching it to move potentially up higher to this 151.50 area. And you're always looking left to see what it's done in price previously. So get rid of these. So I'm just kind of doing some back testing there during the week. There it is. So, sorry about that. So currently here, so 151 area is like around here kind of thing. So it could move potentially anywhere from that area there. Let's draw in that horizontal ray. As you can see, came up and bounced around there. So you got like that line at that 151.75 or whatever it is. So your coordinates 151.80 kind of thing. So you could move from there or even from down a little bit lower. So 151.12, which I think I actually did this week. So I'll just quickly delete that. Hit that. So it came from 150.73. So it could still, like I said, move higher during the week. So we just got to kind of look at price action, see what it's done previously in those areas. Always look left for that, and then take your trades from that. So it's going to be an interesting week. So like I said, I am still waiting for that correction move. It could potentially be exhausting. I would like to see it come down and test one of these areas here, which I actually discussed in the previous video, but we are still in that uptrend. So the trend is your friend, so you should always follow the trend until it creates new market structures. So market structures of a downtrend are lower highs and lower lows. With an uptrend, as you should be aware, it's higher highs and higher lows. Like I said, that's all covered in the course. If you're new to trading and you want to learn more, send me a DM and I'll actually give you the link I'll tell you how to actually get the course for free. So as always, guys, let me know what you actually think of what this pair could do moving forward for this week. I would love to actually hear from you guys, create a bit of dialogue going. As well as that, hit the subscribe button if you value or if you enjoy these videos, and I'll catch you again next week.